This is GameCat, Secrets of, and you're watching Viewer Takeover. Yeah.
This is PSVR Gamescast Live, where we film live every Tuesday afternoon and bring it to YouTube live as PSVR Gamescast Live. That was yesterday. That was so long ago.
Yeah, it was.
So long ago.
You were so young back then.
Yeah.
So much younger. I had all my hair. That was beautiful.
Should have seen it yesterday.
But that was yesterday. We film every Wednesday as Viewer Takeover, when we let you, the loyal Game Cats, we let you take over the show. As always, my name is Brian Paul, and something wicked this way comes. It's Desiree right here in the middle.
Hello.
And then to my right, your left, the king of all VR kings, the Sofa King himself, it's Jeremy King.
Hello. I've always thought it badass you have a Z in your name.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
It is, yeah.
It'd be even cooler if all three of your names, first, middle, and last, had Z's.
That would be sick.
Nope. That's just no. Sorry.
No.
Too many Z's?
No. It's just
The coolness
it's not the fact.
overkill?
I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm not cool enough.
So basically, we want to thank. Let's get the show started, because what happens is every single week we forget to do something.
Yes.
And then we're scrambling at the last second. So let's get this started right away. First, we want to thank Philip Lewis for that awesome viewer takeover introduction.
That's fantastic.
Is anyone else going to have nightmares about that thing?
It's a little eerie.
What
It's
I
a little
love,
mouthy.
Mouthy.
Not so eerie, more lipsy.
Very
Well,
lipsy.
it works perfectly with the headset there. I love it.
work.
I think we should do like an episode with just all three of us wearing those.
things.
That's fantastic.
Yeah,
But-
the
and-
whole conk.
That's what it looked like.
Oh, that would be so irritating. People complain about mouth noises and lip smacking. They're going to be clack, 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 clack,
Right?
clack. That's not going to be irritating at all.
no.
Not Madam.
But you're saying he makes them?
Yeah, I think so.
That's fantastic.
It's a mask made out of like the
Let me talk.
hippie chick from Electric.
hippie chick.
What was Blue Electric Dream? What was the fucking Muppets band? They had
Oh,
the
the
few
Electric,
Muppets.
Electric Mayhem.
Electric Mayhem.
And that's Janice,
It looked like her
Yep.
lips.
who is based on an instructor at CalArts.
One of these days, I'm just going to start the camera, walk out of the room, and let you guys just go. Right? You should have heard them before the show. I don't even know what they were talking
yes.
about. So, also, we want to thank all of these people. These people down here. These are the loyal Patreon supporters. These are people who went to patreon.com/withoutparole.
Games.
And they're giving us $1 or more every single month. For that $1 or more every month, I don't know if you're going to ever get an MP3 ever again, but you definitely get some Litterbox episodes, which is kind of a bonus thing with us talking.
Yep.
And you get our undying gratefulness.
Yes, and help keep the channel alive.
And you get to be on this list. How
Yeah.
cool is it to be on this list? There's not that many people on this list.
Everybody in this list gets a Z in their name.
Wow.
You get a
If
Z.
you want one, and
if
your
you
state
give-
or local laws allow it, yeah, go ahead.
Yeah,
Knock
If you, give
yourself
us, if you give us enough, we'll put 3 Z's in your name.
out. Ooh.
Ooh.
Eh,
Oh, I meant legally changing the name.
Yeah, well, if you give us enough, we'll pretty much do anything. So thank you to all of our Patreon supporters. Thank you to Viewer Takeover introduction. I know I'm forgetting somebody. We're forgetting the people who changed their name to GameCat this week.
That's right.
GameCats, as you know, are the loyal followers, the fluffiest of the fluffy, the Without Parole crew.
So fluffy.
So, Des, who changed your name to GameCat this week?
This week we have Benny Boo the Game Tiger.
That's adorable. Bing.
Yeah.
It is.
Benny and the Boos. No. Haplo784 the Game Cat.
I'm still stuck on Benny and the Booze.
Yeah.
Much better.
Haplo 784. That's awesome. I love when I see a name for so long and then
Yeah.
suddenly one day, GameCat.
Game Cat.
Haplo 784 has been around forever.
He has been.
And now we have Hot Cax the Game Kate.
Yeah, it took me a second. I was like, what is he trying to say here? And I was like, oh, I get it.
Someone's
Yeah.
learning about the Great Vowel Shift, apparently.
Right?
So,
If you changed your name to GameCat, make sure you put #GameCat, all one word, in the comments so that we can give you a shout out next week for your loyal game cattiness. Also, I forgot to say, if you want to introduce next week's viewer takeover, make sure you put. Make sure you send us an email to withoutparole@gmail.com with your video. Yes, it's a Gmail account. Yes, we don't have that much space in it. But as Jeremy always says, if it doesn't fit in our inbox, consider
yourself very
and
lucky.
they should all require puppets from now on. Just,
Oh, I don't
I don't know
know.
about that.
This is eerie.
I enjoyed the video.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't want it to be a trend,
Right?
right? I like sleeping.
I was expecting like a mask like the movie Frank. Remember, do you see the movie Frank?
I haven't seen that. Is
that
it
the-
worth watching?
There was a band, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Like a giant head.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that was actually good.
Yeah, I like
Alright,
that
yeah.
movie.
I'll
Yeah.
put it on my list then.
It's one of those things that just shows up on Netflix
Fast-
and you go, why the fuck not?
Well, it's just, yeah.
Fassbender. What's his first
Yeah.
name?
Michael?
Michael?
Michael Fassbender.
Jason?
I don't know.
Jesse?
Something Fassbender.
Zulano.
That dude that plays the younger
Benny?
Magneto in the
And the
other.
Jets.
Or is it Bernie? Is it Bernie?
No, it's
Oh,
not Bernie.
That's Michael Fassbender.
Michael. Thank you. Definitely Michael.
So let's dive right into Viewer Takeover, where we scour the videos. We scour the comments for the hashtag Viewer Takeover. If you want your comment
Dive
read on
hard.
next week's Viewer Takeover, make sure you put hashtag Viewer Takeover in your comment, and then I'll find it. We had a ton this week, but I did chop it down to just 5.
Yep.
So let's start off with Gaggle the Game Scat from PSVR this week. He writes, hashtag Viewer Takeover. Sony is terminating Starblood Arena Online in July. ... Thoughts?
I'm saddened.
Yeah.
This is great. This is one of the few like multiplayer flying around games that I can play. Whatever special sauce they use, it doesn't make me sick.
Yeah.
And even on top of that, it's just a well-built world, a well-built game, and it's very disappointing that for whatever reason it's not making the cut anymore.
Yeah. Quick too. I mean, it's not that old technically. I mean, there's other online games, of course, that aren't forever. Do they give us any reason as to why?
No, it's been pretty quiet over there. We're definitely still looking into things.
Yeah.
I feel bad, obviously, for White Moon Dreams. I feel bad for anyone who still plays this game religiously.
Yeah.
But I guess we kind of knew this day was coming. We didn't know when or for what games,
Yeah.
but we knew that eventually. So all these multiplayer games for a very small audience, you can't keep them all supported very long
Yeah.
if no one's playing them.
Yep.
So the interesting thing about this is we just checked the store and it's no longer there.
Right.
Which is good. We don't want anyone buying the game and then
Yeah.
suddenly not being able to play it, because even though there is an offline component, from what we're hearing, you're not able to play that offline.
That's the part that's really, really sucks, because I've got this game that's sitting on my device. I would like to pop in now and then. I'd like to be able to say, hey, here's this great game. Come try it, play it out.
And I don't know who made this decision.
Yeah.
I've reached out and been like, hey, just want to get some more information. And so far I haven't heard back. In fact, I should have known something was up when I reached out to White Moon a couple months ago, who I've always been in contact with.
Right, they're kind of
on a
friends of the
regular
show,
basis. Yeah. And suddenly there was just no response.
Nothing.
And that little check mark in your DM that turns blue when they read it,
Yeah.
it still is gray.
Ooh.
That's months ago.
Okay.
And I was like, oh man, what's going on over there?
Yeah.
So no hope for a last minute patch to make the single player functional, huh?
I mean, I wouldn't count on it, to be honest.
Yeah.
But
Well, if they pulled it off the store too.
Last minute, it's like,
what makes me even more concerned about, I mean, obviously Starblood's such a good game, and if you do have it already, and if you got it for free, one you should have, because it was a PlayStation Plus game.
Yep.
Then we still have 6 months. 6 months is a long time.
6 months.
That means like this game has had a 2.5 year shelf life.
Yeah.
It's like not too bad. So it sucks. We're all in the same boat, and it just. I'm nervous though. It's like, okay, well, what's the next game to go?
Probably
Yeah.
Firewall.
Yeah, of course, Firewall. Firewall's gonna stick around forever.
Yeah.
But I'm like, could they possibly pull Spark next?
well, Spark is cross-platform, right?
Yeah.
So
Where
I
does
would think that would stay. Starblood was not, correct?
Starblood was not.
Exactly.
As far as I know, Starblood was funded by Sony for a commission to White Moon Dreams. So yeah, that's a.
Yeah,
And
so
what-
I think that'll be around.
What Spark has that Starblood does not is it's small, but there's a dedicated user base. There are still functional Spark worldwide leagues, things like that are going at regular times, which Starblood, I'm guessing, probably does not have.
I mean, we're guessing though.
Yeah.
I mean, there are people out there who are like, this is my favorite PlayStation VR game, and it
And-
has
and-
been. So
Yeah, and it is great. Like, don't get this wrong. Like, we're not down on the game. We're
God,
down
no.
on what happened to the game.
yeah.
So we'll definitely be tracking this story as it evolves. I'm sure we'll be hearing something from White Moon and something from Sony eventually, and we'll be keeping you posted. In the meantime, let's play the crap out of this game and enjoy it while we still can.
Yep.
Right?
All right, you're up, Asia.
All right. Next is Jay Meow on Breaking News Report.
Meow meow meow, Jay down.
Is I Expect You to Die still the best escape room game? Hashtag Viewer Takeover. Yes.
The thing.
Next question.
Well,
No,
so he actually asked us in the comments, and I was
Okay.
like, hey, put a hashtag Viewer Takeover after that, because I wanted to hear your opinion on it.
Yeah.
Because the reason, why he's bringing this up, of course, is because I Expect You to Die is getting free DLC in 2019. Yay. So we've been like, hey, Shell Games, what have you been up to? What's going on? What are your plans? Is there a sequel coming?
Yep.
And Jesse Shell, in an interview with Upload VR, said, well, our plans is to add more free DLC in 2019.
And that's crazy. I like, my jaw hit the floor, because I would gladly, don't make this change your plans, because I'm okay with free stuff too, but I would gladly pay for more
Yeah.
for this game. It is It is the most fun. It is the most creative, I think. It is probably one of the most polished PSVR games out there. It's like this. It just came from another world. Just, boom. Here's how you make a game. And we've talked a lot about in different puzzle games where the mechanics are just really weird. It's like you walk in this room and you've got to, not only do you have to solve a puzzle a certain way, but it just doesn't make sense like in the world, in the universe. And this, no, there are so many things to interact with and so many different ways to solve each puzzle that it's really it's the best of Job Simulator where you can do anything with anything, but it's the best of these puzzle games where you have to figure out, they just give you have to solve this problem. Here's a room full of stuff, go. And then great voice acting, great characterization, great art. It's phenomenal. So absolutely buy it, and then with more free stuff coming down the line.
When we did our episode of Why We Love PSVR, after after the First Class DLC?
Yes, yeah.
And because the First Class DLC was such a huge piece of DLC, and it was free. It was such a big deal already. It made an already great game even a better deal.
Right.
And the fact that they're expanding on top of that, and they're when they're saying adding more free DLC, I'm really expecting there to be multiple levels here. And I was shocked to hear that it was free.
Yeah.
So
and here we have, say, since I'm looking at Quill over here, we have Moss, which everyone raves about, and still no announcement on anything. And I'm sure if anything does come, we're gonna have to pay for it. Here's this game that's just absolutely fantastic. It's absolutely a one, and they're just giving us more free stuff for it. I don't know how they're making money.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to figure that one out soon, because I don't know how certain companies can release this stuff for free and other ones have to charge for it. Why is one?
Well, Shell Games is also very successful in the educational space as well. So they're I think #1 for educational software.
Can they take that and direct towards VR, PlayStation?
We'll have to ask. We'll have to ask Jesse, I guess.
My guess is that when they released the First Class DLC, they probably saw a huge spike in sales.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so they were like, "Well, this model is working for us. Why are we going to try to get people on board with the sequel, or try to charge them for DLC when we release free DLC? The sales of the original game spike.
Yeah.
So they're like, this is a model that's working for us. Let's keep going with it.
Yeah.
And obviously, all they're going to do is create more goodwill amongst the community. So when they do finally release a sequel, we're going to be like, well, they're going to support this game for years.
Oh, yeah.
So of course we're going to buy it right day one and enjoy the crap out of it.
Yeah.
That's one of the handful of games I would happily pay for more DLC. I would happily pay for a sequel. I want to give you money, Shell Games. So thank you for giving it to us free.
All right, next up, Asia. That doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
Next up, Asia.
Next up, Asia. Like if you're gonna next up is Asia. Anyways,
Did you just drop a nuke on Asia?
I didn't, but the person in the scenario did that would use that sentence.
I thought you were doing Larry King. Next up, Asia.
It did sound a little Larry King.
Right?
Yeah.
The only time I like Larry King is when he was in that quick segment of Ghostbusters. That was it. Other than that, no, not a fan. Even though we share the last name. All right, Ruth, the Mad Game Cat from Breaking News Report. Viewer takeover. It's a thing. Long-winded. It's also a thing.
It's not long-winded. I chopped it down.
Nice.
It's like this is about 1/10 of the entire message.
When I got the email, I was like, oh, this isn't that long.
No.
It's long-breathed. On the subject of game announcements, teasers, trailers, demos, and all the other tricks to build hype, do you think it's better for a dev to wait until only 2 to 3 months before their game is available, or should there be longer spans of time to show a little more here and a little more there? I like when they put an announcement of a huge game out in advance so you can see the development of a game, but then the problem is I also know when a big game is announced, I see that one trailer and I cut myself off from it because I want to be surprised. And same with a movie. So it is more exciting when they announce something and then 2 months later it's available and it's a huge title. That's pretty sick, and that makes me think they did a good job keeping secret, building this game, developing it, and they feel confident in it. When it's out way in advance, it's like, guys, we're going to make this. Look, we're going to make it. Here's a little bit of it, and then it's fucking 3-4 years of development. And so I don't know. I like, I guess, the quicker picker-upper. I guess I like the 2 months, the quicker thing.
We just took a journey with you.
Yeah. Yeah.
What about you, Des?
For me, I think it's a question between an indie developer and a big budget developer. An
Yeah.
indie developer is like, look, we are doing the best we can. We want to get you some information so we can have time. That's their marketing, really. It was like, we don't have a huge PR budget, so we can show you, hey, here we are in the stages of development, and we can kind of build an audience for the game as we develop it. So when it does launch, we have an audience, a bigger developer, your
very
EAs
true.
or whoever can just say, yeah, we've been working on this for 3 years. Boom, we're going to hit you, with the big trailer, get you excited about it so you're ready to pay for it the next day. Because you're going to pay for it anyways.
Yeah.
So I think that's the biggest difference. I don't, like, you said, more for the big budget developer, I don't want to see that development cycle because I'm going to assume they know what they're doing.
Yeah.
And the longer I hear a game announced by a big developer, the more frightened I am about its existence. Because how many times have we been burned? Is like, oh, I always bring it back to StarCraft Ghost, but that was announced. I'm like, yes, all right, I can't wait 2 years. And no.
Half-Life on the Dreamcast.
Right, yeah.
My favorite example of this, of course, is Fallout 4. They announced it, and it was out 3 months later.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, wow, that was awesome. Like, my hype level never had a chance to drop. They're like, it's coming, and it's coming in 3 months. And I'm like, whoa.
Yeah.
But next thing I knew, it was out. I was like, holy crap, I'm so ready for this.
Yeah.
And that's what I love. I know Reth, in his extended comment, was talking about games like Star Child that we've played a demo of like 2 years ago.
Yeah.
That he was talking about Golem that we've been seeing since 2015.
Yeah.
That would be the StarCraft Ghost to this platform.
And I mean, please, but it's like,
Please?
I'm kind of not interested in Golem because I'm like, at this point, it's been delayed so often, and it was such an early title that I'm like, this probably it probably feels like a very first gen VR game, right?
Yeah.
And so it might turn out to be amazing, and I'm gonna be very excited for it.
Right.
And but Star Child, I'm like, I don't know, if the game had come out like 2 months or 3 months after that demo, I'd be so excited about it.
Yeah.
But now it just feels old to me.
Yeah.
Right.
So
We've been there, done that. It's like there's other platforms. Moss. I know what you're saying.
But I think the difference is between what you're saying and what I was saying was that is big thing and then nothing.
Yeah.
Versus the indie developer who's like, oh, we're announcing this game. Hey, look at this pre-build. Look at this. And then kind of bringing us along the way to show us like, oh, we are working it. It is progressing. Not just big announcement, crickets.
And as far as what you're saying, and I mentioned a little bit of this too, I like to go on media blackout. I see something I enjoy, and I'm like, I'm definitely going to play this. I don't want to see the development process. I want to be like, you showed me something that I want to play, and now I don't want to know anything until I get to play it for myself because I want it all to be brand new.
Yeah.
The second I walk into that world, I want that to be the first time I
All
experience
new.
it.
Right.
It's like the old days of MMOs, when the beta test, you get the key. Lord of the Rings Online, I remember doing the beta for that, and it was seeing them release new things and patch and wiping your character out. By the time the game released, it was like you'd done it so many goddamn times. I know that's being part of the process. It's different. But when you see this development, it does. At the time the game is released, you feel like I've been there, done that, because it's been in my face for 2 years.
Yeah.
Anyways, next up.
All right, I'm up, Asia. Where's the button? So this is Felix the Game Cat. It says hashtag viewer takeover from viewer takeover. Strangely enough, writes, hey guys, love the show. I appreciate the newly added interviews with developers. I know you're busy and not always able to play all the games you would like. Time doesn't really allow for that. So in your reviews, you say how good or bad the games are, the pros, the cons, and whatnot. My question is, what games have staying power in your collection? Which ones have you come back to after the review?
Ooh. Putting our feet to the fire.
So I have two, and I'd love to say something like Skyrim. Such a huge game. I'm like, well, and I never played Skyrim before.
Yep.
I still haven't beaten it, and with the amount of time I've actually spent in it, I'm probably only like 10% through the actual game.
I've never completed any Elder Scrolls, but I've played hundreds of hours.
But strangely, that's not the game I think about when I'm like, well, I have 2 hours to play something for fun, which I get to do about once a week. And so I got one of two things. Resident Evil 7, because every time you play through that, it's like kind of different. I did the normal, and then I did the Madhouse, and now when I beat the Madhouse, I got the infinite ammo, and now that if you can beat the infinite ammo in a certain amount of time, you can like unlock whatever.
Yep.
It's worth playing through like 4 or 5 times.
Okay.
And so that's like just something I love to go back to. And then, of course, the other one on top of that, and again, I'd like to say something like Beat Saber, but instead, I go play Firewall.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because that's one of those games that you drop into, like, I'm going to play for 10 minutes. I'm going to play 1 or 2 matches. And then 4 hours later, you're like, I need to go to bed.
Well,
Yeah.
depending on your connection issues, 4 or 5 hours later, I've only played 1 or 2 matches. But
Dum, dum, dum. What about you guys?
for me, it's I am going to say Beat Saber.
Nice.
I'm going to say Spark. That's my like Spark isn't a game I like to just drop in and play a little bit. That's when I have a couple hours so I can get in there and get some matches in. Because the first couple I play, I'm just garbage until I get my my eye back in. Funnily enough, I Expect You to Die. I will still drop in and play that. Super hot for kind of the same reasons as Spark, Beat Saber, and all that. And I was gonna actually, surprisingly, one that's not is Astrobot.
That's going to be one of mine.
Yeah, Astrobot is great. I love playing it through the first time. It's my go-to when I introduce people to PSVR. But it's not something like, oh, I got some time, I want to go back in there and play that again. Just because I think so much of what made it amazing was like this breathtaking, like all these surprises, and then it was not so surprising anymore.
Yeah. Well, see, I take long to. I'm like a lozenge. I take a long time to dissect a game, and I usually do a lot of corner to corner, every nook and cranny. So it takes me a while. Yeah. And the ones that I've, VR that I'll experience and not go back to, whatever, but the ones that I'll play and keep going and chiseling away, I've been doing Astrobot. It brings me back because I dig it. Moss I haven't, although in the beginning I did until Astrobot came out. So I like to go back to Astrobot. That special delivery with the paperboy one? Yeah.
Okay.
I've played that a lot. I know, go figure, right? And then... what's the other one I dig that I go back to? I can't. If I owned Beat Saber, I know I would go back and do that one here and there. That one seems pretty solid and fun from what I played out there too. So I'd say, if I had Beat Saber, that would be one. Astrobot still is one that I'll go back to that I enjoy. We all know Resident Evil, but yeah.
All right.
And finally,
we have Adrian Viela from PSVR Gamescast Live. Hashtag viewer takeover. It is clear that you all love VR. With that being said, why did you decide to focus your channel on strictly PSVR content, considering, although it is great, it is the cheaper version of what's available today, such as the Vive or Oculus Rift, which offers a lot more in its catalog. What makes you love PSVR over its competitors? Well, so number one, it's cheaper. I mean,
less expensive is a better word.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah, I think this goes back to the PC versus console argument.
Yeah,
as always.
Yeah.
It's easier.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, I said before, like I went from having not a single Sony product in my house to having a fully functional VR set that I could play a game on in 30 minutes.
Yeah.
You know, and you cannot say no matter all the other advantages, disadvantages you could say about the Vive or the Oculus, you can't say that about those. Okay.
Yeah. And it's more comfortable.
It is way more comfortable.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
And anytime we've tried any of the other headsets, whether it be at trade shows or whatever, we always walk away with the same thing. First, a line on our forehead. And also, we always say, geez, it's so uncomfortable. How do people play PC VR for more than like a half an hour at a time?
The restrictions, too.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that's just the camera. With everything else, it's the room. You need a room and the cameras to be set up.
Well, that's the Vive.
The Vive, yeah.
The Vive, yeah.
But, I mean, it's basically because we had already half of a VR system here to go. We just needed to buy a headset.
Yeah.
That's one of the big reasons.
You don't have all the software issues like, okay, I've got new shiny game X that has this much graphical quality. Put it in and... oh, my graphics card can't handle that.
Yep.
Or, I have to reload these drivers. Or,
need more RAM.
Yeah. Whereas, with console, hey, I can play. And look, are there more choices? Obviously. But also, is there more garbage in those choices? I don't know. I haven't...
I mean, I think that's always the answer, right?
Yeah.
It's like you say, oh, there's only 100 games over here and there's 1,000 games over here. Well, 10%, or what's maybe probably closer to 30 or 40% of any catalog is going to be garbage.
Oh, yeah.
That's why when people come, when every time we publish a new video, the PSVR this week, people always say, Jesus, PlayStation VR's got nothing but trash. I was like, maybe nothing but trash this week, right?
Yep.
It's like, but like this is every single console known to man. Look at what the PS4 proper has, right?
Yeah.
The non-VR PS4. I mean, maybe there's 10 games coming out this week, but like 9 of them are just trash.
Complete trash.
Well, that's Sturgeon's Law. I think I've quoted that in the past. It's a sci-fi writer, Theodore Sturgeon. Sturgeon's Law, 80% of everything is crap. Like, 80% of science fiction novels, crap. 80% of games, crap. But hopefully what we're doing here is to help you winnow out the crap. And, so, yes, there are more titles on Steam, but are more of them necessarily good? And it's probably about the same average.
Yeah. And plus, every time a new PlayStation VR title gets brought up lately, I keep hearing more and more often PSVR exclusive.
Yeah.
Right? And so, we're talking about games like Falcon Age. That is, PS4 or PSVR, but still PS4 exclusive. And then Kill X, which just got renamed to something terrible. Which, I mean, it started off as a terrible name, so whatever.
Yeah.
Even Tomorrow. And like these are $20 games.
Yeah.
But PlayStation VR exclusive.
Yeah.
PlayStation VR exclusive. And I think we're going to be hearing more and more and more of that as we hear things like from developers, fast travel games. When I interviewed them, they were telling us how much more their game sells on PlayStation VR.
Really?
So if the game comes out at the same time on both platforms, generally you're going to see, there's just more PlayStation VR headsets out there.
Right.
So obviously there's more of a chance to sell your game.
It's also like, I don't know how to explain it, but when Sony's back in this, a console that powers what we're seeing and doing is by that product, that thing. But with the PC driven ones, these headsets are separate. You tap into your computer, they have the power to do all this stuff, and it's like it's not supporting the headset. It's most headsets. Most PCs are Frankenstein's or an alien soft. It's something like that. I just, you know what I'm trying to get at?
Yeah. So
Sony's backing it. The system that it's generating it. It's an add-on. It's not like the PC. Alienware decided to come out with one, and all the Alienware PCs out there are backed by the Alienware headsets.
Well, there's only one set of hardware specs you have to develop for.
Yeah.
Like every single person who has it.
Or two.
Okay. But it's got to work for both.
Exactly.
All right. So you have to design it for the PS4 first, and then you can optimize it for the Pro. Okay. Versus there's literally an infinite combination of sets of hardware out there that you have to develop for and make sure it looks good-ish and runs well enough. So So again, it's the PC versus console argument.
We filmed this yesterday, so that means we got to get ready for the live show, which
Ooh.
starts right now.
Okay,
so guys,
bye.
Thank
See
you
you
so
yesterday.
much for tuning into PlayStation VR without parole viewer take. I just said the wrong word and now I had to run with it.
Viewer takeover.
Thanks for tuning in to Viewer Takeover. Make sure you send your Viewer Takeover introduction to withoutparole@gmail.com. Make sure you support us on Patreon at patreon.com/withoutparolegames. Make sure if you want your Viewer Takeover question read on Viewer Takeover, you put hashtag Viewer Takeover in the comments. And also, if you change your name to GameCat, because you just should, adorable little goodie, you put hashtag GameCat in the comments so we can give you a shout out in next week's show.
Yeah.
I'm Brian. That's Jeremy. This is Des. And we love you all.
You need to auto-tune that into a theme song.
Yeah,
Just that whole thing you just did.
Yeah.